Check, check, check.
Yeah, what's
Check
up,
1 2
man?
1 2.
Can you hear me, Joe?
I can hear you.
You
Can you
can
see
see
me?
me. No.
I can see you.
You can?
Yep. So don't do nothing
I can't.
crazy. I can see you.
Yeah, I can't see you, bro. So should I log in, log back on?
I'm not sure. We live and direct right now.
All right, hold on. Let me. I can't see nothing.
All right. For once, it's not me having technical difficulties with my Wi-Fi, folks. It was the American Wi-Fi in the Sunshine State where Devo is.
God
That wasn't. Ah, there you go. Okay, hold on.
damn.
What's going on? I was just
I
giving me a
was
little
like,
spiel. Hey,
yeah, go ahead,
I
finish
said
though. I
it.
don't know what the hell was going on.
I said I was just letting the people know for once it's not the Canadian Wi-Fi acting up. You know what I'm saying? And it was finally on your end. You feel me?
Yeah, well, I am in the hotel in Tallahassee, so I could already see it's a little bit slow. It's a lot of people in here, so but regardless, welcome to the Devo and Kris Joe show. Joe, what's good, man? How you
My
been, bro?
brother. Oh man, I've been good. I've been good. You know, we won 3 games over the weekend. Played one on Saturday, two on Sunday. So I'm feeling good. You know, win as a player, win as a coach always feels good. And you might know this guy that I'm about to mention next. One of Big East's finest, a Canadian, and he went to UConn. Let's see if you can figure that out.
Denham Brown.
Denim motherfucking Brown. You know what I'm saying? So he coaches a prep school in Ontario called Oakville Prep, and I seen him out there, so it's always good to see him, bro. He's a Canadian legend, of course. When I was, before I got to even DC for high school, I was watching Denham get busy with the Yukon Huskies, thinking shit, I might go there and play one day because they must like Canadians. I'm thinking all type of stuff, but he did his damage, bro. I think he won Big East Six Man of the Year, possibly.
Yeah.
I know he's a national champion. You know what I mean? So he definitely left his mark on the Big East and on NCAA basketball, and of course, just a Canadian legend. So it was good to see him and chop it up. And yeah, bro. So solid weekend for me. What you been up to?
A quick story for that. My freshman year, I played against Denham Brown. That was, man, who did they have, bro? They had damn near 6 pros, 7 pros. It was him, Rashad Anderson, Rudy Gay, Marcus
Yep.
Williams, Hilton Armstrong, Josh Boone, and then they had,
Was Ben
they
Gordon
had
there?
no, Ben Gordon's older than me. No, he was gone by then. But they
Okay.
had a squad, bro. I'm talking about that. We ended up
Crazy.
beating them that year in
Oh, you
when we
did?
went on that run with GMAC. With GMAC, we
Oh,
went
that
on
was
that
them.
run.
He was okay. Okay.
He was on that team, and they
Yeah,
ended
bro.
up. I think they ended up losing in the Final Four to George Mason. If I'm not mistaken,
Oh,
that
when
was one
George
of that
Mason went
was.
on their little Cinderella run. Yeah.
Yeah, if
Wow.
I'm not
They had that.
mistaken, we'll have to check the stats, or Jordan will
Fact
have to
check
check
that.
that out. Yeah, fact
Yeah,
check
man,
that.
that's
But
crazy.
bro,
George Mason had that undersized big man, but yeah.
yeah, but no, my weekend, bro. This weekend was cool, man. I actually went to Baltimore this weekend. Mello had his first high school tournament called a Very Mellow Classic in Oak
Me
Hill, where I
too.
went to high school. Yeah, me. Yo, and if nobody, if people don't get what Kris is saying, that's straight Baltimore shit right there. Like, hey, me too. I need, give me 2 water too. Like, yo, that shit.
Let me get that Mountain Dew. Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit crazy.
but it was a lot of love, man. Who was it? It was a team from Philly. They had a couple teams from Baltimore, a team from DC. Gonzaga from DC came and played.
Okay. Yep. The WCAC.
And then yep, and then Oak Hill, and then it was just love all weekend, bro. I mean, we kicked it, Mello and all his people. It was cool, man. It was cool just to hang with all the Oak Hill guys, and then hang with Mello and everybody else. It was a lot of love this weekend. We chopped it up about Cuse, and what he thinks about everything going forward. So A lot of good things happening, man. I think despite where we're at with the record for Cuse, I think it's a lot of things to look forward to, man. Like a lot of people want to help out the program. They want to see it go in the right direction. Especially the alum and the people who have been supporting for forever. So excited about that, man. That and Melo, he's going to get involved a little bit more, man. Hopefully, so it'll be cool to see going forward. But
Sports
bro,
Talk, Mello, what's going on, baby? We need him on here, but
hey,
yeah, that's
bro,
another story for another day.
I got it. Trust me, we gonna get that. We gonna get that. We locked in. We gonna make it happen. You know how that go. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a good timing for him, and you know how it goes. That's just how it is. But
that's it.
Yo, bro, let's talk real quick about your guy LeBron James last night, man, breaking the all-time NBA scoring record. He had my man Kareem in the front row looking real bitter beer face. As he looked real salty. Like I would have been excited for my man. Like, bro, that's it, when I think when you really kind of, especially for hoopers, we understand how hard that is to score in the NBA, right? To play in the NBA, to have that longevity in the NBA. My man's 20 years in the league, and he's averaging 30 points. Yep. And then it seems like he still has a few years left. I mean, really, he doesn't look like he's slowing down, bro. But, to score over, 38,000 points or whatever it is, he's almost at 39,000. And bro, I think the most impressive thing for me is he's never had like a stain on anything that he did, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never hear about off the court trouble or about anything. Like, yeah, people are going to say this and that, but my man has been the ultimate professional. And I can't really name another athlete in any sport who has carried themselves that way with that amount of pressure on them. You know what I'm saying? From day one, my man got in the league and the expectations was right here for him, bro. And he's hit every single expectation and more. I think he's done more than people would even think that he could do. Like, I don't know about you, bro, but my guy is always going to be Mike, MJ, right? But if you tell me that LeBron's the greatest of all time, I can't argue with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? By that time, it's just about opinion and who you want to go with. Kobe, Mike, preference. Opinion and preference. But this dude right here, LeBron James, man, I mean, incredible, bro. Just besides the hoop shit, everything that he is involved with seems to do good. You know what I'm saying? From him starting his college, putting young kids in. I mean, speak on that a little bit, Joe, on because you've been in the NBA and you've been at the highest level. Speak on how hard that is to really meet those expectations and then really go through with it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you touched on it, right? In high school, King James, it was named King James in high school, chosen one across his back. You almost think that it was a lot of people damn near preying on his downfall as he entered the league. His own teammates saying he's not going to come here and kill, and he thinks he's going to do this. This is a man's league, et cetera, et cetera. He comes out the gate as a rookie, 25-5 as a rookie. You know what I mean? He gets rookie of the year. So already he defied the odds, and everybody counted him out. And he always bet on himself and the work ethic that he put in. You hear about stories, of guys like Kendrick Perkins at ABCD camp or whatever camps they're at. How LeBron was treating his body at those times as a 15, 16-year-old, eating fruit and vegetables when everybody else was eating McDonald's. So you knew that his mindset was definitely different at a very young age, and obviously now it's just paying off. It's dividends, right? You work that hard for so long, bro. It's going to end up paying off when you put that much attention to detail, when you take care of your body for so long. That's not easy to do. Every year for 20 years, you hear about not to get off LeBron, but you hear JJ Redick say that he damn near doesn't want to play again because he doesn't want to put himself through another offseason where he's working out 3 times a day, taking naps. The routine of being so perfect every day, bro, is strenuous on the body, on the mind more so. So for LeBron to be able to do that, invest in millions on his body every year, of course he was destined for greatness, bro. For you to be able to be the all-time leading scorer, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. He looks like he might be able to play another 2 years. You know,
For
he
real.
might make for damn sure that nobody beats that. You know, that no one's going to beat that record again. I mean, Kareem had it for, you know, 2+, 3+ decades, whatever it is. I don't know if anybody will be able to beat uh, LeBron's record just because the longevity, like you mentioned, 20 years in, and he's playing at a high level, right? MVP caliber level. So for him to be able to do that past Mike, Carl, you know, Kareem, from to be where he's at today, call everybody, you know, saying LeBron's not a killer, he's not a dog, he'd rather pass, getting on him for making the right basketball plays rather than forcing up a shot. He
Yeah.
didn't come into the league as a scorer, right? But look at him now, right? He's number one in scoring, fourth in assists, you know, nine in threes, and he's not labeled a shooter, but he's top 10 in threes. You know what I mean?
That's
So it's
crazy.
just all these things, all these things where people, you know, counted him out, and they always find something to say because I think it's just a question of time and where people are so in love with Mike, rightfully so, right? Mike, Kobe, Braun, for me, that's just preference. Again, we spoke about preference. But if you, like you said, if you argue and say LeBron's the greatest basketball player of all time, it's not much you can say. You know what I mean? So hats off to him. I like what JJ Redick was saying about him the other day and just breaking down the stats that he was doing. I don't know if you saw that little piece where JJ
Yeah,
Redick was
yeah, I
talking
did.
about where they were saying LeBron's not clutch, but he has the most clutch points, maybe behind Kobe, or like Kobe might have 88 and he has 80, but he's made more game time or game winning shots, so he has the most game winning shots in NBA history. He's number one in scoring in playoffs, assists, minutes. Notice, bro, LeBron is him. You know what I mean? So shout out to
Yeah.
to to, to Bron, man, and he deserves everything that he got, 100%.
Yeah, and they said he wasn't a scorer. He owns what I think the top four. I think JJ Redick said scoring average of all time, and it's Mike is number one, and then I think it's Oscar Robinson maybe, and then KD, and then
Yeah,
Bron. I
and then
think
Bron.
Maybe I'm wrong.
But then,
Yeah,
but
maybe
them
I'm
those
wrong, but it's
those
right there.
it is something like that. But it's I think it is Mike. I know KD is third for sure. Then it's Braun. But even with that, it's like 0.1 points away from
Yes.
being in second. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
you damn near you damn near second all time for in 20 years of you playing. You're averaging 30 points, bro. Come on now, for your career.
Yeah.
That's impressive. For lack of better words,
We
that's
won't
impressive,
see it.
man.
We won't see it again, bro. I mean, we just won't see a guy like this. First of all, 6'8", run like a deer. He's 6'8", 250, but he looked like, I mean, dude is just he like he looked like, what's my man name? Like a Hercules type, like a god, mythical
Yeah,
figure. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how his body's.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how his body is built. But we're never gonna see, and you
And
see people be like, enjoy it while you can. I just think, bro, that's 100% right, because what he's done for the game, and if people really like stop to look about, you know. I mean, dude, it's impressive that my man never had a hiccup, yo. Never had a hiccup outside of
yo,
ball. Like
nah,
he,
at all.
and that goes to show his team. His team is a hell of a team that he got around him, bro. They're making sure, like, hey, Brian, this is what you got to do. Because you know, like he's holding himself accountable, but at the same time, those guys are on him too, making sure, hey, this is what we got going. You got to do this. You got to take care. So shout out to his team as well, man. He got a great circle that
Yep.
everyone playing their role, man. So like without them, you know, honestly, he probably wouldn't have got to, you know, where he is. And I'm sure that if you talk to him, he'll say the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, that'll be a hard record to break going forward, man. You got load management. This guy's missing 10, 15 games because they're just resting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man,
and
that load management
they're not
bullshit.
getting to the playoffs. They're not getting to the playoffs like LeBron is too, where he got to 10 or 9 straight finals appearances. So he's playing them. He's playing, bro, 100 games a season. You know, damn near. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah,
90
and
whatever it is games a season.
and think about it, bro. It's some talented motherfuckers. Like you talk about, like Anthony Davis. You know, obviously Steph Curry, guys like that. They get hurt too much. You know what I'm saying? Like they always
Yep.
hurt. Like Anthony Davis can't even play fucking 30 games in a year. Like maybe if he was able to play how LeBron, like, and that's another thing. LeBron is he's not really, he never really got hurt, bro, in 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like he twists his ankle.
Crazy.
You'd be like his hamstring sore. That's him taking a break for real. Like, you know how they saying that
Yeah.
he's not really hurt. He's just resting his body. But that is unbelievable, bro. Because he'll like it's like
Facts.
he'll twist his ankle and then he'll just fucking walk it off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that man got all type of extra muscles in his ankle or some shit. Yo, he's just unbelievable, bro. Like just you know, if you step back and really look at everything together, my man it's incredible what he's been able to do and how he's been able to do it. So shout out to
Yeah.
Brian, man. Shout out to Brian. Let's get to Cuse, man. We'll talk about Boston College last game. They went on the road. They handled business. It wasn't easy. You know, Joe, any game on the road, regardless who you playing, I don't give a fuck if you playing or Mississippi A&M Tech, who the fuck it is. Like you going on the road, it's a different atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? You're in a place that you never shot before for real. You're, you know, the being comfortable. It's not the same as being home. So to get a win on the road in the ACC, we'll take it. But and going back to that game, our big three showed up. You know, and speaking of our big three, you know, Judah, Joe, Jesse. You know, Judah had 15, 4 assists. Joe had 18 points, and Jesse had a career high 27. I think he was 12 for 15, only missed 3 shots, 7 boards, 4 or 5 blocks. And then we had everyone else come in.
Justin.
Justin. That's, you know, Justin and Malik. That was the lineup. I think it was. And then Samir had a solid game as well. You know, if we can get those big three, if we have those guys playing how they play consistently, we're going to give ourselves a chance, right? Because you'd see the two, and then maybe the one hasn't had a good game, or you could see the one and maybe the two hasn't had a good. But when we have all three like that scoring, because we can score the ball, right? We haven't had trouble scoring the ball. We're averaging almost.
Not an issue.
It's not an issue. We're having 75, 76 points a game. The issue has been, you know, defensively, rebounding, and taking care of the basketball. You know, those 3 things. And, you know, I think if we're able to be consistent with those 3 things, scoring is going to take care of itself. We got to figure out how to be consistent defensively, rebounding, and take care of the ball. And that's going to give us the energy and the momentum to score 75, 80 points every single time. You know what I'm saying? If we're scoring 75 but giving up 80, that's not going to do anything for us. But I think, you know, going forward, those 3 guys really have to be aggressive and establish themselves. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I think early, let's get it into Jesse. Even though we talked about it all year, he might not be the back to the basket guy. All right, I get that, but he's been consistent for us all year, scoring the basketball, rebounding the basketball, and blocking shots. Let's feed him early, talking about him getting a few touches, feeling good about himself early, just like we were talking about Joe. Now he's feeling good, running up and down, playing defense. He felt it a little bit. Get him involved early.
It's a different bounce. You could see the bounce in the step was different because you're feeling good, bro. When your swag is right, you're just moving different. Your swag, you getting touch post speeds, you making moves up and unders, you blocking shots, you talking a little shit. You feeling good. So now that bounce, that pep in your step is different. Not just for you, but you're building up your team as well at the same time. You block a shot, everybody's feeding off of that. And when everybody, obviously we know when things are going well, bro, everybody looks good. Everybody has a smile on their face. Everybody's bouncy. But regardless of what, good times or bad times, that's the type of team that we need to see playing every night.
Every night. We get consistency. And then for Joe, it doesn't got to be complicated. Be aggressive, bro. I'm not saying you don't got to hunt for your shots, but go ahead and be aggressive and look for those opportunities. You know what I mean? Because you're going to open it up for everyone else. Because now when you're being aggressive, they got extra attention on you. Now that helps Judah. Now he can be aggressive. You know what I mean? And speaking of Judah, he's just a guy that continues to get better. Like his decision making continues to get better. You know, obviously he still has to work on taking care of the ball. You know, being more consistent with that jump shot. Joe, honestly, we're not going to see that jump shot probably a lot this year, right? It's not going to, you're probably not going to see him go out and hit 5, 6 threes or hit like 7 jump shots in a game. Not this year, but it's there. Like, I think for him, he does such a great job of going downhill, getting defenders on their heels that mid-range just opens itself up, a la like Russell Westbrook when you see him used to go full speed and just stop on a dime. He has that there for him. You know what I mean? I think it's for him to notice and kind of read and figure out. But those three guys, bro, have to be aggressive. They have to lead, and then talking about those other guys you said, Justin and Malik Brown, they feel more confident when they see those guys being aggressive, playing like that. You know what I mean? Now they're going to be aggressive. Now they're not afraid to make mistakes. You can't play basketball worrying about you going to make a mistake or playing tentative. Because if you do that, then you will make a mistake. Then you got to
Yeah, no
if you're going to
question.
make a mistake, make it be aggressive with it. We got. I think
But I
Joe. We
like
got
Justin.
6. I like Justin. He competes, bro.
Six,
Like
yeah,
that's
he does. Just to piggyback off what you said real quick, about guys being aggressive and him, the reserves coming in and being able to follow suit. That's exactly it. When you're on the bench, bro, and you get a second to observe what's going on out on the floor, and you see, Judah getting to his, and Joe's out there. So now you're on the floor. For one, when you're on the floor with Judah, Joe, and Jesse, just naturally, the defense is not going to be so focused on you. So that's where I see Justin. He's moving around that perimeter. He's moving without the ball. He's making sure that he's always in the line of vision for a pass, and he's shooting that ball with confidence. You know what I'm saying? He could shoot that thing too. So I see him. We could see him, right? 26 minutes against Boston College versus Chris Bell's 11. So we see, the theme is whoever's playing is going to be out on that court,
whoever's
and that's just the
competing.
reality
Whoever's
of it. You know
competing.
what I mean? Whoever's competing is going to be out on that floor, and Justin does a great job, like I said, moving without the ball. Him being a shooter, he's about, what is he, like 6'5", 6'6",
Yeah, 6'5".
So he has good size for a perimeter for a two. You know what I mean? He could shoot it, and I think in the next, well, for the remainder of the games this season, we're going to see him continue to get these type of minutes, 20 plus minute games, and he's going to continue to look for his. He's not shy. That's one thing about him. He sees daylight, he's going to let it fly.
And you can't be shy. You out here hooping. You know what I'm saying? You playing ball. The worst thing that could happen is you gonna miss a shot. Coach might take you out.
You miss.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's your mindset, bro. What's your mindset like? And I think a lot of young guys let that affect them. Like, I think Chris Bell is a super talented kid. You see him. He catches the ball right here and just goes right up. He has one of the better shots that I've seen in a while. You know what I mean? Just a pure,
Yeah.
smooth stroke. But the biggest thing is his body language. Like when something go wrong. And I was watching a video. I think it was John Calipari, if I'm not mistaken. How big body language is, bro. I mean, that's the nonverbal language. You know what I'm saying? Like, Joe, if I'm talking to you and you like fucking like this, yeah, but something probably fucking wrong. You know what I'm saying? So like when you miss a shot, whoever it is, especially those young fellas, you can't go ahead and show them that it's affecting you, because not only is the coach going to see that, Coach Boeheim, but then the opposition is going to see that as well, and they're going to use it to their advantage, knowing that they can get in your head off of some
The
little
ops.
shit. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you feeling bad? You missed a shot. Nah, if I see that, Joe, I'm talking real shit, big shit. That look, you soft ass. You know what I'm saying? You saying all type of shit to
Yeah.
kind of get in their head. Body language, man, is huge. Like, going back to the Calipari, he said that that's one of the number one things that they look at when they recruit. How are kids
Yep.
reacting to when things don't go bad, or excuse me, to when things go bad? How are they reacting when they
When they
make a
get subbed
mistake,
out,
or
when they,
when they
yeah.
get, or this too, Joe. This is a big one. How are you acting when your teammate fuck up? You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I was wide open, or he missed you on this, or he missed. Are you going at him like, yo, what the fuck? Like, or are you hitting him on the butt, be like, yo, bro, we got it. Next time we gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a huge difference in teams that
Yep.
yell at each other like that, or just pat each other on the butt like, bro, come on, man, we gonna keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a huge difference.
Bro, that's a fact. That's a fact, and I think it's huge, and you see it at this level. I see it more at this level now because I'm in it. But the teams who, if I'm watching a game and I see a team who one person takes a shot, mind you, there's going to probably be about 10 to 15 shots a game that were ill-advised and like you probably shouldn't have shot it. It's going to happen. But the teams who get on each other like, they start yelling, they lose. They end up losing the game because now you're not acting as one. You're not acting as a team. I was watching the game over the weekend and I seen a kid take a terrible shot, but his teammate, one of the better players on the team, I heard him say, "Good shot, bro. You'll hit the next one," while the coach was talking crazy like about him taking that shot. So when you're hearing that positivity from your teammate, bro, it's like, oh shit, my teammate's rocking with me. Coach mad, but I'm out here with these four guys, so I'm a put all my energy towards the guys that I'm going to war with. You know what I mean? Because they out here with me. So I think that's very important, bro. Like you said, how you react to your teammate taking a bad shot, or whether you were open and he didn't see you. Are you yelling at him? How are you leading, bro? Leadership is so key. And kids got to learn that early.
That's a fact. I'm looking at the chat a little bit. Gen B, you super active on the chat. I tell you that. Gen B7. But I will say this. She said that the three J's, Joe, Judah, and Jesse, haven't really been consistent this year. It's so few games. They're all consistent. Well, I mean, I'm looking at the averages, and if 15 for Judah, 16.6 for Joe, and 14 and 10 for Jesse on the year. I mean, damn, that's pretty consistent from those three, I guess. But yeah, if we could dissect some shit, it's a lot of stuff they could have did better. But for the most part, bro, if you look at the stats, you look at that, like those three have been pretty consistent. If you're looking at it like that. But I think just for this team, sometimes they need to go above and beyond. You know what I mean?
That's
like that, maybe 15, 14, and 16, that, if you get that on a nightly basis, cool, you did your job, but that's not going to be enough, because you got to make up for these young fellas who, might not be ready that game. If you got a Bell, he going to get 17. Justin, he going to come in and get 10, 11. You're 15, you're 16, you're 14 is cool. But if you got guys coming in, getting 2, and Malik Brown, he's getting, for what you might have 20. We need you to have 20. Jesse, you might have to have 18 and 12 or something like that. So it's not that.
Let's be real. If Jesse don't score 27, it's a different outcome, right?
Yes.
Because now, if they really score, if they scored their averages, right? Jesse averages 14. He scored 13 over, right? What Joe averaged 16, 15. He
16
scored 18, and Judah averages 15, and he was right about 15 this game. But then you look at everybody else, like Brown 4, Bell 0, Williams 2, Hema 0, Taylor 9.
Shout out Samir too.
So I mean, shout out Samir.
Yes, I've been solid as hell the whole year, bro.
Oh, he gotta be solid. Gotta be solid, bro. He's doing his job. He's playing his role. When they say be a superstar in your role, obviously, hey, I'd be lying and we'd be lying and he'd be lying if he didn't say he wished he had a bigger role. But his role is very critical and pivotal to this team's success. The role that he's playing right now, and it's not always about scoring. Your role is when you have to control a team, when you have to control a locker room, when you have to do all the little things that go on behind the scenes that people don't see. These are roles that are super important, bro. And he's still able to come in and contribute in a big way if he's given the opportunity and the minutes. But just to go back to
defensively too,
the consistency with these guys. Yeah, defensively too. He's quick as hell, bro. He can play football. He's quick. He can move out there in that zone when they're pressing. But like you said, they would have to go. They got to go above and beyond. Every game. It has to be like that. It has to be damn near where the three of them within a game are averaging 60 points between the three on a nightly basis. And that's a lot to ask, if I'm being real. Because now, if we're talking about, let's just we're talking about last game. They played BC. Let's just say between the three of them, they had, between the three of them 60 points, bro. Like BC scored 68 as a team. So now you're saying you're putting three guys to damn near play against five guys. In a sense, you're relying on three guys to make up and try to win a game. Like, it has to be a general an overall effort between everybody, bro. It's tough to do that on a nightly basis, but they got to get it done.
Yeah, and I get what, being consistent, like, that is being consistent. Like, 46 points between the three of them, almost like overall, right? 46 points, every single game. They probably got to get it to, 55, 60 on occasion.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If those other guys, bro, if we had that consistent forward spot, you know what I mean? We talked about, if we could rely on a Benny, to come in and give us, 10 and 8. Instead of having we've been talking about the whole year trying to make up for one guy with three guys. You know what I mean? We hope three guys can do this for us. It's tough, man. I think we had bring that one more guy in, and it helps the team anymore. It helps our team that much more. But it is what it is. We're deep in the year. I think that we've figured out some type of consistency with the lineup. Not really, not really, I guess. But we figured out who we could kind of count on. I guess Taylor has emerged. Bell has been up and down offensively. We know he could score the ball. Malik has really emerged as a guy that is exciting. I think he's a guy that you can really get excited about going forward because he hasn't even really hit his anything. You know what I'm saying? Like he's so raw offensively, but he's just a guy that has a knack to play the game. Like defensively, rebounding the ball, being in the right spot. Now once he gets the ball and be able to figure out he had a couple moves to get into something. He's going to be a totally different player. That's why I think I'm excited. And I'm not saying the season is over. I'm big summer, but I'm not saying the season is over. And we'll get to that in a second because we win our next 6 out of 7 games. I think we win one in the ACC tournament. We're 21-11. We in the tournament, no doubt. We in the tournament. But I think, talking about next year going forward, if we can keep this group together, Joe, it's some talent, bro. I mean, it's some real talent there, bro. At every position, you know what I mean?
Nah, for sure. And I like what I seen about Justin when he said that they played 5-on-5 in practice, the freshmen against the guys who had been there against the veterans, and that they won some games. So obviously, this group together is talented, bro. You put that group of guys and just tell them to hoop and pick up games, they won't get off the court. You know what I mean? They're just that talented. So it'll be good to see what they become, hopefully, and assuming that they could be together for another year or two.
And you know what makes a really good team, though, Joe? And you know it, too. Like, you got to have hoopers, but you got to have discipline. Like, I feel like this team, like, it's a lot of hoopers, man. A lot of guys who hoop. But they still need to find that discipline too, meaning offensively finding the right shot. You know what I'm saying? Playing with a little bit more pace, defensively knowing your rotations, boxing out. Being aware of where the shooters are at. Like when we hooping, like a lot of the time we just motherfucker score and then you get in that bitch try to go right back at them. You know what I'm saying? You just hooping, but you're not really locked into the details that you got to win the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like basically when you hooping, you trying to outscore somebody. You know what I'm saying? I guess if you know what I'm saying? Like if we hooping, if we hooping 5-on-5, and when we done, I'm not talking to you like, man, I stopped. I locked you up. You know what I'm saying? I got 7 out of the last 10 stops. No, we're talking, man, I was busting your ass to step back. That's how you talking. You know what I'm saying? But we need that mindset. Be like, oh, I'm locking this dude up. Like I don't care about what I'm scoring. That's Judah's job. Like Malik, I'm getting 8 to 10 rebounds. Be a star in your role, like you said. That's why I think Samir is having a really solid year and people will be like, what? He's averaging 3 and almost 2 rebounds. How is he having a great year? And it's different when he comes in. He's steady. Like he's great at the top of the zone. He's getting guys in their spots. He's not turning the ball over. You know what I mean? And I think he's a guy he settles Judah down a little bit. The times when you see him and Judah in together, he can settle Judah. You know what I mean? Just as far as the playing with the pace and decision making. I think he helps those guys out a lot. And he's a leader. He's the most vocal guy that we have on the team. You know what I mean? And go ahead.
One thing about him is we know he's ready for whatever. We seen it last year when Buddy goes out in the ACC tournament. and he has to step in and he has to start. Samir played great. You know, we've seen it on multiple occasions actually last year where he had extended minutes where he was able to score 8 points, get you some rebounds, assists, steals. So we know what he's capable of. And that's the thing. You just never know what can happen in between now and the end of the season where, God forbid, knock on wood or whatever, superstitious things anybody may have. But if someone was to get hurt at the guard position, he's ready to fill in and be a big time contributor because he's ready for that moment. He's been a part of it already. So we know that he's ready. The coaching staff knows he's ready, and so do his teammates. So that's just, just to finish up on side.
I'm hitting the chat again one time, Joe. I'm looking at a love child named Tom. What hell of a name you got, first off. A love child named Tom. He says 21-11 doesn't get you in the tournament. You tripping. 21-11 will definitely get you in the tournament, especially how the landscape is with college basketball now. And the ACC is not even good. Man, we're 7-6 in the ACC. Are we? I don't know the standings off top, but I think we're maybe fourth. I don't know, but if you win the next 6 out of 7 games, you 21-11. How don't you get in the tournament? Or you got to win 1 in ACC. And even if we win 5 out of 7 and win 2 in the tournament, you could get
we're
in.
8th right now.
Yeah, we're 8th. We're 8th. But now everybody's fucking right there, dude. Like, right so you win those games.
Yep.
I think that's what I think. If we go 6 out of 7 these last 7 games, I think that's what it is. And we can go into ACC tournament and win 1 game. They're 21-11. Is it a tall task? Yeah, it's a tall task. Is it impossible? I don't think it's impossible. What did he say? A love child. They were talking about 16-7 last night being out of the tournament. 16-7. Well, I don't know where that came from. I don't even know what that is. A love child named Tom. But I just think if we're able to, you see what I'm saying in the chat, Joe?
Yeah, I'm not even in the chat. I'm looking at our next games and all these games are winnable games. Wake Forest, G-Tech, Pitt. We play at Clemson, Duke at home. Like these are good. This is a good home stretch right here for us. It's a good home stretch. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I know that we wake up for certain games, bro. It's a great home stretch for us. We played North Carolina, really tough at home. You know what I'm saying? I think Duke comes in here. It ain't no cakewalk when you step into that dome. You know what I mean? So we have a good home. We have a good stretch of games coming up where every game is really winnable. You know what I mean? Like we gave Virginia a fight when we played Virginia. We fought hard. This team is trending in the right direction. That's the truth. And unfortunately, we knew it would take some time.
Even when they lose, I feel like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're seeing progress, bro. And I know for fans, they don't really necessarily want to hear about progress because we're in fuck. They want to see wins and results, bro. We've said it before.
Yeah.
But even with every loss, you can see the progression that individuals are making and the ones that we're making as a team, bro. We're taking huge strides. Whether it's defensively, we're moving, where we're showing the potential of what we could be on the defensive end. Of course, there's going to be miscues and guys are going to fuck up on our rotation, but overall, everything is getting better, game by game, day by day. So, I mean, this next 7-game stretch, obviously, it puts a lot of pressure on the Qs to every game is like a must win, and shit, maybe playing with that sense of urgency gets you out there and you win the next 6 out of 7, like you said, or 7 out of 7. We had a stretch where we won, 4 in a row. We've had a stretch where, we won, a couple games in a row. So it's not impossible.
9 out, I think we won 8 out of 9 at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
8 out of 9 at one point.
Great stretch right there. And all it is coming out with that sense of urgency, thinking to yourself and knowing if we lose this game, it could be over. Right. So playing with that sense of urgency, putting that pressure on yourself will naturally make you play a little bit harder and, give it all you got.
What we got going on in the background? That sounds like some Blink 182 or some shit.
No, that's a fact.
Hey, so let's cover I guess what everybody really has been talking about for the past few days, I guess, since Coach Boeheim made those comments. I'm actually, I'm actually here with the team. I'm doing the game. I'm doing the radio tonight with Matt Parks. So I was actually out to dinner last night with the coaches and stuff. We're not, obviously we're not talking about all that, but you could you could just feel it. You could feel it around everybody. You know what I mean? And you know what? Coach is going to say what he says, man. Coach, how he feels, he's not going to put a filter on that. He's 79, 78 years old. That man has lived his life, and he's going to not hold back for anybody. Now, with that being said, do I agree with what was said? Nah. You probably shouldn't have said some of the things. And he came back and he apologized, for the things that he said. But it's just, I mean, we all know, bro, how competitive Coach is, how much he wants to win.
Yeah.
How competitive a guy he is, and he's one of the. He wants to win more than anyone, and we know this. So when things aren't going great, and you got a lot of people with microphones in your face saying this and that. Sometimes you say things. You know what I mean? You might say some shit. Now he can't be naming names and shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't be saying schools' names and shit. So it's tough when you start doing that. That's when you really start to hear the backlash, because if you would have just said in general the NCAA or whatever, because we all know
for sure.
Joe,
For sure.
we know motherfuckers is getting paid.
Before the fucking NIL, it was people getting paid.
Come on, man.
Way before.
Come on, man. Come on. And if you didn't think that, then you living under a fucking rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes have been getting paid in the SEC, at all, ACC for years, bro. Since the 80s. Like, this isn't a new thing. But now that people are talking about it, it's a little bit more out in the open, a lot more out in the open. Everyone's gonna have their opinion on it, rather than when it was kind of not really talked about. It was just like here go an envelope under the desk.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so let's and I get it. The thing that for me, it was like he named the names, right? That he probably shouldn't have did that, but again, he apologized. But let's not say like this isn't happening or hasn't been happening, bro. Like, this is something that's been happening for decades and decades. You know what I'm saying? But what's your take on it, man? I mean, it's
and honestly, bro, yeah, I agree. Like, at the end of the day, you don't name names. You know what I mean? Especially if it's not 100% facts. But regardless, you don't want to put a stain on a program or a coach or whatever the case is. Not that it's anything wrong. Shit, if you gave a kid some money, it's legal now. If you told a kid you could come to my school and I'll get you $75,000 in NIL money, that's legal. That's perfectly legal. But at the end of the day, you don't want to name names when you're making a statement like that. At the end of the day, right? If he came out and apologized, it could be shit. Like you said, he's competitive, heat of the moment shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? We done lost, 3 of our last 4. People talking, wondering why you losing games, and sometimes you might, in the heat of the moment, you might just say some shit, right? Whether you thought it through or not, you just blurted some shit out. At the end of the day, it takes a man to be able to come back.
Yeah.
It takes a man to be able to come back and take back what they said and clear it up or whatever the case may be, right? And I'm with you. I agree. I know for a fact. I know people personally who have gotten money to go to certain schools, and they said, they said they're going to give me X amount of dollars a month if I go here, or they said they'll get my mom a job and a house near campus, so that because I can't live with it. It's so many different ways that it's been done over the course of time, bro, that you can't be surprised, bro, if anybody does. And now that, like I said, the NIL stuff is legal and you are allowed to pay kids freely, and it could be on ESPN, it's going to be on the internet for people to read. Said kid got X amount of dollars to come here. You know that's a part of the game now. When you're getting recruited,
That's
kids
part of the
aren't
game,
asking how
yo.
much minutes I'm going to get. They're asking how much money I'm going to get. They both start with the letter M, but they're not talking about minutes. They want to know about money.
That's a, that's a
You know
fact.
that's what they want to know now. And the parents are coming into meetings asking how much could you get my kid in NIL money, because everybody's trying to profit off of this shit now, bro. Which rightfully so. Kids should be able to, you know, make money off their NIL at the end of the day, because it's been you go back to goddamn the Fab Five when they weren't getting shit, and but yet they're the hottest thing, you know, fucking hotter than the Beatles. You feel me? And at the end of the day, they weren't getting the dollar. So, bro, it is what it is. But to go back to Coach's comments, you just can't name names. Like you said, I agree with that 100%. You can make a broad statement that there's teams that pay kids to go there, and that's why they end up being better, or whatever the case is. Maybe they have a higher NIL budget. Who knows what it is? But just naming schools specifically, like targeting certain schools, I don't believe you should do that.
And I'll tell you this, bro. Like, I don't think people really understand like all the shit that he's dealing with. He's been dealing with the question of, are you going to retire for fucking years and years and years? Like that gotta like
Bro,
it gotta like it gotta get to you at some point. It gotta get to you. You know what I'm saying? And then when you
Cam,
talk about the NCAA, like,
sorry to cut you off.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to cut you off, but like, bro, it gets to me. There's fucking people ask
right,
me everywhere I go. When I'm on the fucking circuit last summer, they're asking me. I got referees who ref coach like Big East ACC games. I see them because they do their little fucking evaluations at AAU tournaments. And they're like,
yeah,
"Hey, Kris, when do you think coach is gonna retire?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't know. I think he still looks good. Like he wants to be out there. He wants to be out there." You got parents, kids, like, "Oh damn, Boeheim been." I'm like, "Yes, bro, but he can still do it at a high level." People saying he's out of tune and out of whack with the kids, bro. Nah, he's still the same coach that won a national championship. The game hasn't changed that much, to the fact, like to the point where he can't fucking coach no more, bro. He can coach. But sorry to cut you off. I was just saying it has to get to him if it gets to me. Everywhere I go, it's
yeah.
motherfuckers asking when is coach gonna retire. I don't know, bro, and I don't ask him because I'm rocking with him at the end of the day.
And that's my point. Like you hearing this all the time. The NCAA already fucked with you and took 101 of your wins for no reason. In North Carolina, got fake
Motherfuckers.
fucking classes. Ain't shit going on over there. You know what I'm saying? But so it's like I just think like all this piling up, and sometimes when you asking that shit, like yeah, like is it his responsibility to deal with it in a better way, or say, yeah, I guess you could say that, because that's like, but at the end of the day, he's a fucking human being, bro. Like if all I'm thinking, people, all these people in the chat, people outside, if you had to deal with what he's dealing with, you might blow a fucking gasket too one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and go off
Yup.
somebody. You got a young student reporter in your face asking you some dumbass shit. Like, dude, like you really want to look at this motherfucker like, come on, man. Why are you asking me this
Yeah.
dumbass question? And trying to really put on some like an elegant touch with it or something, like to where motherfucker, that's the same dumbass question, except you just put a fancy word
Right.
on the end. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Right. Right.
So like the normal, what I'm saying is the normal person, bro, they couldn't deal with all that, like how he deals with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Not
a
a
lot.
chance.
It's a lot and bro, like you gotta think, everywhere he goes, and even when we walk into the restaurant yesterday, everybody turning their head at him. You know what I'm saying? Looking like that. Like the man got, everywhere he goes, he has that attention. People don't understand. That's a lot. You can't even just go sit down and relax without a motherfucker just turning their head at you. Talk about coach, but think about how LeBron said it the other day. I wish I could just go into a movie and with
Yeah.
have with or go get a
Go to Target.
coffee. Exactly. Obviously, Coach Boeheim might not. He's not on that level, obviously, but he's right there. Like he ain't, especially in the city of Syracuse, bro. So like
No
I
fucking
get
doubt.
like that. It's getting to him. Like it's getting to him, and now he's like he's lashing out a little bit. So I understand it. Right? Can you deal with it differently? Yeah, but fuck it, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, and he apologized for it. So, bro, I just know
But
that.
bro, at the end of the day, bro, it's like, bro, they they're saying he needs to retire because what? Because we're losing games. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. And that goes to get the fuck out of here goes to all the fake ass fans out there, bro, that been fans for like 5 years, 6 years, the last 7 years, whatever it's been, bro. That man put in work for decades, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your grandparents watched him coach and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now you coming in young as shit talking, making fake ass Twitter fire Bayham accounts. Motherfucker, you've been watching basketball for 3 years. And Syracuse, and you want change. Like, and shout out, hey, matter of fact, shout out to Paulie too, because I seen a clip of Paulie on Twitter. And
yeah, he was going at him.
It was so he was going at him, and I said, hell yeah, Paulie, you tell him. Like, for real. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? A new coach is just gonna come in and fucking just get to the number one seed or some shit? Like, nah, that shit takes time, bro. You can't just come in new coach and at the head. Yeah, you can switch assistants. Assistants is cool. They all got a damn near same job. Head coaching is a whole different ball game. They think that someone's just gonna come in and do what? What kind of coach is gonna be coming in if we get a coach? You know, if that's not from on the staff already, like what do they expect is gonna happen, bro? This man been putting in work
be on the
48
staff.
seasons, 49 seasons. You know what I'm saying? 48, 49 seasons he's been putting in work. National champion, Big East, you know, number one seeds and Final Fours and fucking Elite Eights. Whatever you want to talk about, he's been putting in work. So for anybody to come in and say Boeheim needs to be fired because we're not winning games with 6 freshmen on a team, bro, you need to dial it back a little bit, see what's going on, and reassess your fucking comments at the end of the day, bro, because the shit don't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's straight off emotion and not
if you know
logic.
anything about basketball, straight off of emotion and not logic, bro.
I mean, and that's, you know, and when you feel you feel like that about a team and you're passionate about a team, I get it. You're going to say some shit. But let's sit back and really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the kids are different now. Like, the kids are totally different, right? So he might be, it's a little bit more difficult for him to deal with those kids than it was to deal with us. Because it's a lot more shit going. Like that NIL shit and all that, it's way more people involved in the everyday shit that's going on in these kids, you know, whether it's, you know, the talking to them on the phone, agents, whatever it is. So like, it's a lot of different outside stuff that coach has to deal with as well. You know what I mean? And that a lot of it he can't control. Like, how can he control if a parent telling this motherfucker just to go ahead and play, don't listen to him? You know what I'm saying? You're only gonna be here for a year. You paid anyway. Who gives a fuck if you win? You paid. You good. You going to the league after? Let's just get it and get up out. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to deal with those type of dudes. You gotta have kids in here who want to play and want to win, and not worried about all the outside shit of NIL money or making it to the NBA. All that shit is gonna come if you win, and if you show them that
you gotta be in the moment.
You can compete at a high level. You know what I'm saying? Like it's tough, man. It's tough. We'll get away from that real quick. We got 5 minutes left, Joe. I just kind of want to go over tonight's game, Florida State at Florida State. So, you know, I've done a little research on Florida State. 8-16. Obviously, they haven't had a good year this year, but I think the record doesn't really reflect how good they are. They've had a lot of injuries. Guys have been in and out. They haven't really, you know, had that consistency with the lineups, even though Leonard Hamilton, he always plays a lot of guys. But I mean, they're lanky, they're long, they're fucking athletic. They like to play up tempo. They like to cause turnovers. But at the same time, I think, you know, we're just as talented. And 3 things that I said that I wrote down in my notes for tonight's game. Obviously, you got to play defense, right? We got to be able to get back and set up in that zone, because they're going to try to beat that zone down the floor and not have to play against it. I mean, like most teams want to do. If you can get out in transition and play ahead of the zone, you know, that's the best way to beat the zone. Number 2, you got to rebound the ball. You know, we got to rebound the ball. And number 3, they're a pressure team. They're going to get up high on the wings, play man-to-man aggressively. We got to protect it. We got to take care of it. You know what I mean? Those 3 things are huge. And I know it's like, oh, you know, people want to get into the detail, do this, nah. If we can have our big 3 be aggressive, you know, do what they do, have our other guys come in and chip in, give us, you know, 8 to 10 each or whatever it is. Really, we need them to fucking rebound and play D. right? But if we can do those three things, defense, rebound, and take care of the basketball, and then I'm gonna add on the fourth one. Take good shots, because against this team, Florida State, they're aggressive. But they're not as good defensively because they're not as disciplined as they were last year. They got a lot of young guys. They take a lot of risks.
They
They
give
make
up
a lot of
75
mistakes.
a
So
game.
exactly, so we'll be able to, if we move the ball, we're gonna get good looks. I'm not worried about anything offensively. We got to be able to get back in that zone, make sure they're not getting out in transition, take away second chance opportunities, rebound the ball, and then take care of it. I mean, how many times, Joe, have we been right there in the game? It just came down to 2 or 3 plays in the last 2 minutes where, we had a crucial turnover or we didn't get a stop. I mean, we're sitting here 14-10. We really could be 17-7 or 18-6. For real,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If you look at those few plays, so for me, those are the 3 things we got to do tonight: defense, rebound, take care of the ball. My fourth one, make sure we get good looks.
Yep, I'm with you. I think that these 2 teams, obviously Syracuse and Florida State, they both came off of 2 wins on the road, right? So they're feeling good. We're feeling good. Obviously, Florida State just went and beat Pitt on the road. But I feel like our loss against North Carolina, where we showed we had some grit and we could fight down to the, I mean, shit, I'm bugging. I'm bugging. We both won games on the road, though. We did win 2 games on the road, but since North Carolina,
Yeah, Boston
what I wanted
College,
to say was
Louisville.
we've been playing good basketball. Yeah, we've been playing good basketball since North Carolina. So, like I said, we're treading in the right direction. We both got some roadkill, but I think we have the momentum going to this game. And they give up 75 points a game. We average about 75 points a game. So that to me is a recipe for we should at least score 80 something. Florida State don't play no defense like that, and we have the players to, create opportunities for themselves and for others. So if we do those things, like you said, the big 3 has to be consistent. The big 3 has to be right on point tonight. Again, another game on the road where you have to compete. It's not easy to win on the road. If those 3 play well, then we could trickle in a little bit of Benny, a little bit of Justin, and some Chris Bell. Give us each about 5 to 8 points and help out on the rebounds. We should be in good shape. Our defense got to move like it's been moving, and we should be good.
Yeah, it starts tonight. I mean, we talked about 6 out of 7, but it's really game by game. Let's lock in right here in Tallahassee, get this win, and then we'll worry about the next game when we get there. So let's focus in tonight. I'm with you, Joe. I think we come in here and get another road win. I think we're going to score the ball at a high pace, at a high level tonight, and if we can get enough stops, we're going to be out on top. So. You already know, man. We come in here to get another dub from Tallahassee. I know y'all jealous. I'm 80-degree weather, baby. I'm 80-degree weather out this month. We'll holler at y'all, man. Next week, man. Devo and Kris Joe, we out of here.